Here's how to blur a video online like this, or this in just a few simple steps. Start by heading over to clipchamp.com and then log in or create your free account here. I've put the link in the description below. Once logged in, you'll be taken to the homepage where you'll click on the Create a New Video button, and then you'll be taken straight into the editor. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you 4 different ways to blur your video. The first is how to blur the entire video like this. The second is how to blur a specific part of your video. The third is how to add a blur effect over a still subject like this. And lastly, how to create a blurred background. The first thing you'll need to do is import the video clip that you want to add the blur effect to by heading over to the Import Media button, selecting the asset and hitting Open. It'll then load into your media library like this, and you'll simply drag and drop it straight into your timeline. Now that the video is in the timeline, to blur the entire video, you'll click on the video in your timeline and it will highlight in green so that you know it's selected. Then navigate over to the Property panel and click on the Effects tab. You'll scroll through the list of effects until you find the blur effect. Then simply click on it to apply it to your video. Your video will then be overlaid with that effect and it will look something like this. You can then edit the intensity of the effect with the blur slider. Simply drag the slider left for less intensity or right for a more intense blur effect, just like this. Next, to blur only part of your video, you'll repeat the first steps and add the clip into your timeline, and then split your clip by moving your cursor to a specific timestamp of the clip where you want the split to start. Click on the split tool over here, and then move your cursor to the timestamp where you want the split to end. Click on the split tool again, and now your video has been split into 3 separate sections. You'll then go ahead and add the blur effect to that split section by again clicking on it in the timeline and heading into the Property panel, clicking on the blur effect and overlaying that clip section with the blur effect. It will look something like this. Next, let's say you want to blur someone's face, a number plate, or sensitive information. To add a blur effect over a still subject, you're going to use the picture-in-picture effect. Start by dragging and dropping your video clip into the timeline, and then you're going to want to crop your video so the subject you want to blur is only visible. In this case, I only want to blur his face. To do that, click on the video, then head up here and select the crop button. Go ahead and crop that video with the freehand tool for that section that you want blurred. You'll then add the blur effect to that cropped video by jumping into the Effects tab and overlaying the video with the blur effect. And then lastly, you're going to drag and drop that same video into the timeline again below your blurred video. And it will look something like this, and that's it. Lastly, to make your video background blurred while still focusing on the subject, you're going to use the blur fill effect in the Effects tab. Again, drag and drop your video into the timeline, click on it and then head into the Effects tab in the Property panel, but this time you're going to select the blur fill effect. Click on that and apply it to the video, and then you'll freehand crop your video following the same steps as before, and then move that cropped piece around anywhere on the stage to show the blurred background. It will look something like this. Once you're completely happy with your video, you can go ahead and export it by heading to the export button, selecting your video quality, and once the export is complete, hit save to your computer and it will download straight to your device, all ready for you to share. And that's how to blur a video online in 4 different ways. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for our weekly how-to videos.